How's everyone doing today? Happy Monday. We are back. And this is going to be a good session. It's going to be kind of storytelling with some tips. Today's topic is all about how my client enrolled 10 new clients in 2 months as a woman of color, and she was starting a new business. So I'm pretty much going to share it as a story, right? I'm going to tell you all the story of what happened and then kind of extract the tips from it, okay? And this is going to be part of my whole new series where I am teaching women of color how to attract and enroll dream clients into their business by using manifestation, mindset, and messaging. Right? This is also going to be sponsored by my new program, the new Attract Dream Clients Boot Camp that we will have going on April 10th. And then on April 9th, I'm actually going to share with you all my story. I'm having a free workshop titled how I created $40,000 in 30 days. I'm going to be sharing with you all the specific and exact tips and steps that I took to generate $40,000 in 30 days. And this was after I was having a dry spell. So if you're interested in that free webinar, if you're on my mailing list, you're going to get all that information anyway to enroll. But go ahead and hit pivot if you're like, Latrice, I want to hear more. I want to join you on April 9th. It is completely free, me sharing my story with tips on how I did this. Put pivot in the comments and I'll go ahead and send you all that workshop. Let me see. Yes, put pivot in the comments and I'll send you all that workshop. Let me see. All right. There we go. So we're going to get started. Welcome. If you all are new here, thank you. If you are just joining, thank you, thank you, thank you. Feel free to join, subscribe. I come live every Monday around noon, around lunchtime. I think we're going to call it like lunchtime with Latrice. I share career and business tips to help women of color live their dream life. I help you create the money and the financial freedom you want to have your dream life. All right? Yay! So let's get started. How my client made 10 new clients in 2 months as a woman of color. So I'm going to share this story. I'm going to move my chair up too, you guys. I'm going to share this. So I had a client come to me, and this client was actually a former coworker. So you all know I am huge on personal branding and building your brand inside and outside of the workplace. This is why. When I started my business, several of my original first new clients were people I used to work with. By this point, when I got this client, I had already had my business for a few years. I was already getting momentum and success. And even though I was a career coach, I've always helped people with their businesses on the back end. I have a business degree myself. I have with a concentration in marketing. I've been running my own successful business for nearly 10 years. I grew my business from zero, from nothing to over $200,000 in multiple six figures. So people come to me for business advice. So this was a former coworker who enrolled, and she wanted me to work with her in starting her new business. And her goal was to gradually be able to go full time, quit her job. And she wanted her business as a legacy business. She wanted to create a legacy, not just for her, but for her children and her grandchildren. And she wanted her daughter to work with her and then eventually expand the business. But she was just starting off. She had her LLC, and she had the name of the business and a dream. That was it. And the type of business she was starting was a therapy business. She was starting a therapy practice. She was working full time. I'm going to share with you all the constraints. She was working full time. She had adult kids, but I believe they were still in the house. So she had kids. I'm not sure if she had grandkids at this time. And she was a wife, she was a mother, she was already working full time, but she knew she wanted to build this legacy and have the freedom and flexibility to live her life on her terms. Didn't want to work for another company, for the rest of her years. So what was the first thing we did? I was like, okay, what is your goal for the future? I was like, what is your vision? So many times people are like, well, I got to get a website. I got to get an LLC and all this. Yes, you do. But let's start with where you're going. If you don't know where you're going or where the destination is, you don't know what steps to take. Right. Then you just listen to any old body. You're like, oh, it said do these 27 steps. This said just do these 3 steps. No, let me tell you this, you cannot start a successful business in 3 steps. And it does not take 27 steps either to have a successful business. The truth is, it lies somewhere in between, and it's going to be based on what you want for your life. What is your ultimate goal? So, because her goal was flexibility, freedom, like not just freedom, but she wanted financial freedom too. Obviously, she wanted extra money. And she thought she had to go at a very slow snail's pace. So she wanted 10 clients in 12 months. She was like, I'm fine if I get these clients at the end of the year. What she wanted to move fast on, she wanted like her website, her logo, like all these things important, but I was like, are they as important as helping people right now? And she has some constraints. Number one, she had a time constraint because she's working full time. She is a mother, she is a wife. She was heavily involved in her church. Oh, I think I'm freezing up, you guys. There we go. So she wanted, uh-oh. All right, I'm gonna try. It shows me it keeps freezing. So I'm just going to keep going. If I need to repeat myself, that's fine. So she was heavily involved. She volunteered. So she had that time constraint. The second constraint was she didn't want to be on social media. She was like, I don't want to be on social media all day. I don't want to be tied to my computer. I don't want to be posting and doing videos all day. Now, I love me some social media. That's what I want right now. But that's not what she wanted to do. Right? She didn't want to do that. And she didn't want to spend a whole lot of money either. So she had some constraints there. So what we did, first of all, number one, where are you going? Why do you want to do this? Two, what is, and I don't want to say the restrictions, but the how you want to do something is important. I hear people all the time like the how doesn't matter. The how does matter. Anytime someone tells you, oh, the how doesn't matter. It's a million ways to make money. Half of them could be illegal. The how does matter. Just based on your values, your ethics, your morals, what you want for your lifestyle. The how you do something does matter. Okay. And she knew what was not for her and what was for her, right? So we did look at like, okay, what are you being called to and what are you not being called to? Check in with your intuition, check in with yourself. That is okay. And so when she came to me with this, I was like, okay, we're going to work on building your brand off of social media. We're going to utilize what you already do have, which is she had a very high value reputation. She had been in the field nearly 20 years. She had people that knew of her work. She had won awards. She was amazing. Okay. So she was amazing at what she did. She was just doing it for this other company. And now she wanted to do it for herself. Okay. Um, and then thirdly, we were like, okay, how can we use your intuition and manifestation to get what you want and to make this happen faster? Because I was like, girl, it is not going to take you 10 months. It's not going to take you 12 months to do this. One of the main things we had to do is get rid of this arbitrary order. She thought, again, she had to have a website, she had to have a logo, she had to have all these things. And I was like, but you have the expertise, you have the need to help people. You just need to attract these dream clients. That is it. And if you all know anything about therapy, things like that, she was like, I got to get credentialed. That could take months and months and months. I was like, absolutely. So you have to get credentialed so she can take insurance from different insurance companies. I was like, absolutely. In the meantime, we don't halt enrolling clients. What can you do? And she was like, well, maybe they can be self-pay. I was like, open up for self-pay and see who can pay you. You're amazing. You have this reputation. So I'll share this. Notice we had to change her mindset. She had it like, I have to do it this specific way. Again, the how matters. And we were like, what if we can work within your values and what you want to do? She didn't want to use social media. However, we can still have you move faster. You still don't need to do all these things in this order. Like she really thought like it was like 27 steps. And I'm like, you can do all 27 things. You just don't need to do them right now to attract dream clients. So we got very clear on who was her dream client. She knew it was certain type of diagnoses she didn't want to work with. And then it was other ones she was like, this is my sweet spot. I can help them. You have to have your dream client in mind first. Even before you marketing, even before you do your messaging, who are you telling this message to? And you all know, if I haven't told you all before, one of my systems that I work by is my 3M formula, which is mindset, messaging, and manifestation. So those are the steps that I eventually took her through, and working on her mindset that you don't need to wait 12 months to make the money. Like, and there's no hierarchy, there's no arbitrary time frame, and there's also no arbitrary steps. There are some things that need to be done. She needs to make sure her licensure, she needs to make sure she has liability insurance, those things. But it was like three things that she needed, and she had already had those three things before she had even come to work with me. Okay. So we had to work on her mindset, the messaging. Again, who's your dream client before we even get to the messaging? Once we knew and mapped out who her dream client was, then we worked on her messaging. Okay, how can you attract those dream clients? Everyone is on social media, but she didn't want to use it. So she wanted to attract other women of color. So she signed up for directories. She used therapy for Black girls, where I found my therapist on there. She used it was another directory too. So I think she enlisted in like two or three directories. Not very expensive at all. She got her first two clients just from those directories, I think in like 2 weeks. It started working very, very quickly. And then we were like, you have your dream clients. We had the messaging. Then it was like, how do we create this? How do we allow this to manifest? And it was by referrals, because she had built such an amazing reputation in the field and in the therapy field. She had people willing to refer to her that did not conflict with her 9 to 5, right? So they didn't conflict with her 9 to 5, and they referred her. And so within 2 months, that's how she got her clients. She was fully booked. It was that simple. In the back end, were we still doing the website? In the back end, are we still working on her logo? Yes, but we did not let that stop her from helping people and enrolling her dream clients. And this is what I want you all to take from this. All these other steps. I've seen people before. I had someone tell me, like, I spent, $5,000 on branding and flyers and logos and websites before I even got a client. If that's what you want to do, fine. I don't recommend it, especially in this economy. Why? When you can get clients and allow that income to then pay for those things, you will also see they're not as important as you think. Like, don't get me wrong, a website adds legitimacy. I do think you need a website. Do you need it before you enroll a single client, especially if you're helping people? No. That is a personal decision, but it's not a need. And in this case, she didn't. Again, she had the credentials. She was listed on these directories. So she had a full profile that people can see. And the thing was, the person who was doing her website said it would take 3 months. So I just want to tell you all, had we waited, she wouldn't have been helping those 10 clients. Had we waited, she would not have been able to generate that income that she did and help her family. Right. So you don't always need to wait, but you do need to have the right mindset. You do need to know who your dream clients are and have the messaging to attract them and take the actions to easily and consistently enroll them. And it can be simple. This is my message for you. For everyone out there, we see what's going on in the economy. We see all the layoffs. We see the unemployment rate for Black women and women of color. We need to learn how to create our own income, our own businesses, and attract our own dream clients, because those dream clients will help you create other opportunities. And I teach this through manifestation. with my 3M formula, which is the mindset, messaging, and manifestation. All right. If you enjoyed this, if you got some tips from this story and you want to take this further, I am doing a free workshop sharing my story and giving some tips to you on how I created $40,000 in 30 days. In that, I'm going to show you how I attracted and enrolled my dream clients. And those dream clients will continue to help you generate income creating opportunities. They're going to help you generate income and opportunities. And that's what you want. You can get off the roller coaster of like, I always got to find clients. I always got to get clients, because your dream clients will be attracted to you and easy to enroll and help you create and be open to other opportunities and other income. All right. So if you're interested in that free workshop, just put pivot in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and send that to you all. I'm so excited. And that's going to be on April 9th. You all have a great day. Bye.